Believe it or not, there is a correct way to use and care for bar soap. So here today with some tips about how to get the most out of your soap is Emily Beanblossom. Thank you again for being here and teaching us about soap.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, so I see you have some dish soap in these little containers and you have bar soap. So what is what and how do we take care of our soap?
Awesome, yeah. So this is solid dish soap. So instead of buying a bottle of liquid dish soap, you can also use something like this, which is made out of coconut oil and castor oil. Very simple ingredients. And you use a brush, or you can even use a sponge to work up a lather. You just use the sponge or the brush to work up a lather with a little bit of water. And there's not much care that you need to do with this. You just let it dry out between uses. You can buy it in a jar, or I sell refills as well. If you don't want to buy the jar, if you've got something like this at home. Yeah, but it's pretty simple and straightforward.
And so if somebody is wondering about sort of like the antibacterial properties or things like that, how do we make sure that the dishes are clean with something like this?
Well, because it's made with coconut oil is naturally antimicrobial, and so it just doesn't present a living environment for microbes. So it's naturally like antimicrobial, so you really don't have to worry about it.
That's great, because then you don't have to have the harsh chemicals that you find in a lot of the traditional dish soaps that are at the store.
Right.
This is all natural and ready to go.
Yep.
And that's very easy, and I imagine there's much less waste, because once you get a lather, then you don't have to pour or sort of use this much soap when really maybe you only need that much soap.
Exactly, exactly.
And then what about a bar of soap?
So these bars, these are fun. These are my zero waste bars that I started making using scraps from previous batches or test batches when I'm testing a new color or a scent. If it's still good soap, I keep it. I am from a waste not, want not house, so we keep everything if it's good, and we incorporate it into a new batch, and that's how you get the fun colors and specks. It's like a little bar of confetti soap. So I like doing this because then I can offer an economical bar as well, because you get a total mix and match of previous batches of soap, so it's like a little party in a bar.
That's great. It's really cute, and like you said, it's zero waste, which is really important.
Yeah.
And then how do you preserve soap? Because I know when I've had bars of soap, you sort of put them in a soap dish and a little bit of water stays in, so it's continually melting, and
yeah,
you go back to use it and it was this big when you left and now it's a tiny little dot. So
yep,
what are some tips if people want to keep their bar longer?
Yes, so I suggest a couple of things. Either a soap dish that has holes in it that allows for drainage. The worst thing you can do is let bar soap sit in water. It has a high water content in it, even though it doesn't look like it. And so water is attracted to itself, so it melts, it gets a real bad rap. So if you've got a soap dish that has holes in it, or you can use something like this, which is a soap lift, that raises the soap out of the water and keeps it from getting melty. And then also this soap saver, this is a bag. This is kind of to replace that plastic loofah in your shower if you want to. This is made with sisal fiber, and you can put the bar of soap right in there. It's also really great because when you get to the end of the bar of soap, when you have that little sliver left and you don't know what to do with it, just pack them all in here and then you've got a new bar of soap.
Oh, nice. So you can actually use it while it's still in here,
yeah,
because the lather will go through.
Yep, yep. You just wet it. You put all the soap, either the soap pieces or the whole soap bar in there, and wet it and lather it up. You can even throw this in the wash machine on the gentle cycle, just like a washcloth, and then you can replace it every year or so.
And it's already soapy, so that's perfect.
Yep.
And then ultimately you can make your own confetti bar of soap right in the little bag. And then let's go back to this soap lifter for a second. So what is this made out of? This has a really interesting texture as well. And so you would just put this on the bottom of the soap dish and the bar right on top?
Yep, so this is actually waterproof plastic, and normally I don't have a lot of plastic elements in my business, but the reason I really like these is because it is reusable. It's not single-use plastic. You use it over and over again and it'll last forever. You can even cut them in half to fit your soap dish.
That's great. And plastic sometimes I feel like does really have a purpose, because ultimately if it's the best material to then get the most out of this, then ultimately it is an eco-friendly use for the plastic.
Exactly.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for all of these tips and for sharing all of this information about soap with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And if you want more information, or if you would like to watch this segment again, you can head to our website at ciLiving.tv.